Hey guys, it is around the 1st of October, and as you know, every early day of the month is new games from Humble Choice. Again, I'm not affiliated at all, they don't even know I exist, but here we are, talking about it once again. So, as we get into this, I already have two of these games. Two of these games I have not finished because of long-standing emotional trauma. We won't get into that. But there are games that I can give to my friends and maybe finish with them instead. That sounded dirty and it didn't mean to be. First up, we have The Quarry. Obviously, October is going to be filled with some horror games in here that are going to be really interesting. The Quarry is also made by, hey, guess what? The Dark Pictures anthology, House of Ashes. They are made by the same people, which is fine because they're both really, really good games. I would have really liked to have played all of it, but they're narrative-driven games that are basically like a horror experience. They're very minimal action type sequences or anything like that. Gameplay is very minimal, but that doesn't mean that they are not good. They are. They are very good games. This is the newest one to come out, which is The Quarry, right? So, this one takes place in a summer camp setting. These are all basically kids that are counselors at a summer camp. You've got some actual named movie stars and TV stars in this. As they always do, they always try to get some names in there that are actually relatively known. And they're acted very well. Very, very well. But as the game progresses, things start to get bleaker and bleaker for all of them. It's a very good game to have in the month of October. Next up, we have Metal Hellsinger. This is a game that I know very little about, but what I do know is that it is a Doom-type game, first-person shooter, but it's you can shoot to the beat of music. As it says, Metal Hellsinger is a rhythm first-person shooter where your ability to shoot on the beat will enhance your gameplay experience. The more in sync you are with the rhythm, the more intense the music will become and the more destruction you will cause. Obviously, the visuals are very demonic. Again, coincides with October and Halloween. Looks really interesting. First-person shooters are really not my thing, but it might be interesting to just figure out. But wow, these are some of the artists that are on here. So we've got Dark Tranquillity, Jinger, Soulwork. I don't know who that is. I can't read that. System of a Down. Envision, Lamb of God. Ooh, that's really good. Arch Enemy and Black Crown Initiate. So some really good metal artists. So if you like metal music and you like first-person shooters, this might be something that you're into. Oh, there's a bigger picture down here. Refused and Envision. Yeah, Jinger. Trivium. Okay, yeah. Okay, well this one basically says that you can, they've done everything on their side so that you can actually put content up, so you hopefully would not get strikes. Nice. Next up we have House of Ashes, which is the last of the Dark Pictures anthology. Again, I have not beat it. Yeah. Very good game. And all of these games you can play with friends. So you can share this, and usually you can do couch co-op, which was originally given, or you can play online with your friends. and go that route. This one, basically, you are a part of the military that is sent in to find, like a Middle Eastern country, stuff, that's going off over there. You find this ancient temple that is home to, for a lack of a better word, vampires. Yeah. Very well acted. Very, very good gameplay. I liked it a lot. But yes, you're basically going up against these vampiric creatures. It makes everything unsettling, but very fun. Next up, we have Rebel Inc. I think I actually owned this one too. I got it for a Humble Bundle before. Looks to be just a regular RTS. But it says, from the creator of Plague Inc. Evolved comes a unique and deeply engaging political military strategic simulator. In Rebel Inc. Escalation, the war is over? But we all know that doesn't mean anything. In order to stabilize a war-torn country, you need to balance competing military and civilian priorities to win the hearts and minds of the people, whilst also stopping a deadly insurgency from seizing power. Following on the global mega-hit Plague Inc., with over 160 million players, Rebel Inc. Escalation offers a deeply engaging strategic challenge inspired by the complexities and consequences of modern counterinsurgency. It has received acclaim from international development experts and was even featured at a major international peace conference. Wow. 8 regions to stabilize. Deploy to wildly different strategic environments, including the gentle farms of Saffron Fields or the impenetrable forests of Distant Steep. Work to defend the Azure Dam from the insurgency, or develop unique new strategies to counter the drug trade in opium fields. You have 8 unique governors. That's interesting. Each one with radical new abilities to master. Choose the economist to receive an entire year's income in one go, or the warlord to train a personal militia. Field an army of heavy armor with the tank commander, or tap into the black market with the smuggler. So yeah, really interesting, I guess, game that really got a good, very positive. Probably not something I'm really into, but it might be really interesting to just check out. Next up, we have Spirit of the Island. Okay, I have no idea what this is, but it looks, just from onset, like your basic sim game, farm builder, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't look like there's much difference from any of the others. Just different locale and kind of different graphics. It says there's an old tradition running in our homeland. To become an adult and complete the coming-of-age ritual, you must go on a journey of discovery. Your adventure begins on a distant island, deep in a tropical I'm not fully awake to say that word right the first time. Archipelago. Gosh. What was once a prosperous tourist destination is now a shade of its former glory, and it's your job to bring it back to life. Explore the archipelago, meet the locals, and lend them a hand to restore the tourist paradise, while you try to uncover the mysteries of your past. But yeah, it's your basic sim game. Farming, fishing, mining, foraging, social, all with unique sort of things. Looks like you get to create your own stall. Okay. Alright. Looks really interesting. Like, that's a new thing, is to create your own business and stuff like that and sell them. So, to open museums and display the treasure and secrets you uncover on your adventures. Alright. So you're basically rebuilding the entire town. Oh, and it has a 2-player cooperative mode. Okay, that's interesting. Yep, there's a combat situation. Well, alright, if you like that sort of thing, this looks to be rather fun. Next up, we have Lords and Villains. Oh, I like the style of this, but it looks to be really big. So, Lords and Villains. Grow dynasties of medieval families and see them evolve and interact as you build their homes, farms, and workshops, and assign them different tasks, duties, and taxes. Lords and Villains is a very lighthearted, approachable, yet complex city-building strategy simulation of medieval society, where you shape the dynasty of the ruling family. In this game, you don't manage the daily life of every villager. Instead, you deal with whole families and their descendants. Wow. Interesting. So it's basically just a very little but big city simulator. Right? That's kind of interesting. And you deal with descendants and family going on massive amounts of years and stuff like that as you build the city. Huh. This might be something I might look into. It seems really interesting, and I like the aesthetic. They deal with their own, like, family stuff. You just basically make them a life. Huh. Next up, we have A Juggler's Tale. Okay. Make use of the puppet strings in unique puzzles. Find your way around obstacles, cross raging rivers, sneak through bandit camps, and make it past dangerous traps to find freedom. My allergies are killing me right now. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, come in, come in. In the mood for a story, are we? Abby is an artiste, held captive at a circus. She spends her days entertaining the audience and her nights in a cage, longing for freedom. One day, she escapes the circus and gets to explore a mystical world. Also, freedom comes at a cost, and Abby soon finds herself dragged into the dangers this world has to offer. In a war-torn medieval fairy tale surrounded by ravaged, starving citizens and hunted by the relentless cutthroat Tonda, Abby has to cross raging rivers, make it through bandit camps, and around traps. Isn't that what we just set up here? Yeah? Yeah. Her adventure is always accompanied by the lyrical rhymes of puppet master Jack, who is telling her story while holding the strings of his puppets firmly in his ever-helpful hands. Who can Abby trust? Can she find a way to truly break free, despite dangling from her threads? Will Abby learn that she can still influence her destiny? Abby, don't you see? The threads are holding you up. Also hold you back. Next up, we have Mr. Prepper. So I have actually seen this game before. It is basically your run-of-the-mill, I would say, what is this, like a simulator, but you're a prepper. So you're trying to build your own, like, shelter and stuff like that. I don't know if it's as good as some of the other post-apocalyptic shelter builders. But this one at least has secret police and people you have to kind of like get away from while also building your own rocket to get out. Which is really interesting. It says, Mr. Prepper is a guy living in a country which once had been the land of the free. But its new government has changed everything. Obey, stay in your lane, and love the president. Otherwise, the secretive and all-powerful agency will take interest in you. Mr. Prepper has decided to defy this and get out of this delusion of life. The only way for him to hide his plans and doings is to build an underground shelter and construct a machine that will help him get out. But for that, he will need materials, time, and secrecy? Secrecy. Okay. I think I was supposed to be like secrecy, but they didn't spell it right. But oh well. Help him succeed and break the status quo. Seems interesting enough. It really does. So you have your basic rooms, crafting rooms, go gather materials from places, try not to get caught. You know how it works. Interesting. And those are the games. Coupons we have right now are for the DLC for Hellslinger. And it looks like both of them 40% off, which is not bad. Direct Relief is the charity of the month. It's a humanitarian aid organization with a mission to improve the health and lives of people affected by poverty or emergencies. But there you go, guys. Those are the games for October. Ready to go. If you like any of these games, let me know in the comments. If you plan on playing any of these games, also let me know. I'd like to see what you'd like to see. But until then, be kind to each other. And I'll see you in the next one.